Back to another Hogwarts Legacy video. This is the first one on the channel actually. And we're going to be reviewing all the spells in Hogwarts Legacy. Alright, for our first spell, it will be this one right here. Aerial's Momentum. Now what this does, it's a fabulous spell. It's very, very useful if you're in combat. You're going to use it. And then, obviously we got the regular spell, which is the regular, like, hit spell. Now for our next spell, and obviously I just showed you guys what that does. It sends them flying backwards, like that, and then makes them go upside down. It's a control spell, and it's used in combat. Now, Glaciist. This is one of the most harsh of the kind. This makes them stand still. Now, it's very good if there's multiple people around you and you've got to make one person not try to fight you or attack you. It's very well. Now, Leviosa. This is a spell and it just makes you float. And then it just makes them not be able to attack you. It's actually a really good spell in combat. Most of these control spells are pretty good in combat. Now, Transformo. This, well, potentially buckets. It's not really that good in combat, I would say. It's better for get people to get away from you. But like, or stop people and then run away, because other than that, it's not really the best spell. Now, we're gonna go on to the 4 spells. First one, Accio. This is one of the first spells you actually learn in the game. Now, this just brings people closer to you, and yeah, it's really good in combat. It's good in close combat. Now we've got the port key. That just instant kills pretty much anyone. But then there's some people that obviously doesn't instant kill. Now, after we've done the port key, which we just did, we need Delepsio. It's basically the opposite to Accio. It makes people go away from you. So it's actually like, you gotta get someone away from you. You can go like that, easy. And it's a really just easy spell to learn how to use in close combat. Now, Descendio. This is an interesting spell, because this brings people up. And then, yeah, it's a pretty classic spell. Anyway, we're not going to be covering all the spells in this. Only the spells that you can gather, and the port key, and obviously the basic attack, which I told you guys about. It's the basic attack you know from the start, and it's this one. Yeah. Now, next spell. This is Flippy, and though, honestly, it's actually a really useful spell in combat. It flips people over, and then, yeah, it's basically the same as most spells. It's just they gotta make more spells so you can learn them and stuff. You can flip people over. It's interesting, but yeah. Alright, next spell. Oh, this is a really interesting spell, Confrigo. Now, it's made for spider fights, but close combat spider fights, because you have to be close to actually hit them, I think. Now, it's a fire spell, and it's really, really well done for spiders. So, yeah, if you're playing this and there's spiders where you gotta fight, it's really well played for spider type creatures. But other than that, see, but it has a limit to it. Oh, not this one. And yeah, actually really, really well. And it works. It works basically with anything. Anyway. Now we're gonna go to Defendio. This is actually a really good spell.
I know all about
Really well made. And it just slashes people basically. And then it makes them kind of pass out for a bit. Now we're gonna get on to for this next spell. Expelliarmus. If you've watched Harry Potter, you know what the spell is. Expelliarmus. The disarming spell. It will disarm any creature that has a weapon. So like with this fella, you see how this fella has a wand? No wand to him, or at least that fella. So it's a disarm spell, very simple. We've all seen it in the movies. Now this is Bombardier. Now this isn't a good spell. Unless you're near heat people. Other than that, it's average. It's basically an explosion spell. Now this is like the worst spell in Sandio because you actually have to be really close to the enemy, which isn't always good in close combat because who wants to be close to the enemy in close combat? I mean, in combat, and they've got to be in that ring to be able to hit them. Now we're gonna go to the utility. That was a damage. Now utility. Alright, first one is the disappearing spell. It makes you disappear from all the enemies. They can still see you, but it still works. Now there's not much to talk about this. It's basically an invisible spell. Not really the best spell, but yeah. And we all know what this spell is. It's Lumos. And yeah, dark areas. Well, yeah, now we can't use the Reparo spell, but the Reparo spell, it just repairs anything, as you can see on that little screen right there. Now Leviosa, do we have anything that we can actually use Leviosa on? If we do, I'll be pretty amazed. Because there's only like certain things that you can use Leviosa on. Like, so you can't use it on enemies and stuff. So, well, obviously we all know what Guardian Leviosa, sorry, not Leviosa. We all know what Guardian Leviosa does. We've seen it in the Harry Potter movies. Oh well.
I'm embarrassed for you. Predictable.
So basically it doesn't really work, like, it doesn't work on combat enemies, yeah. Alright, now these are the, the ones for the, room of requirements. So this one, you can just make like brewing stands with. On this one, you can change, like, so you can change the color and style of the chair and the size and stuff. And now this just makes things disappear. They're really good. Now, let's go on to the curses. Advada Kedavra. It's a simple killing curse. It just kills anyone in its path, no matter what. Now we got Crucio. It's basically the same as it's basically the less overpowered version of Advada Kedavra. It doesn't kill people, it just curses people. And yeah. So whatever you hit them with, it's the biggest weakness, basically. It's good for mainly spiders. It's actually a good spell. Anyway, Imperio. It's a really difficult spell because it doesn't really work too well. And you gotta wait ages for it to reload. Now we have to wait ages for it to reload. Alright, we're gonna wait a little bit until we can actually use it. So we'll just go find some like wizard enemies, dark wizard enemies. Because they're probably the best sort of enemies to find. Yeah, do this. I mean, we could use spiders. No, they're too small. Alright, just while we wait for this thing to load, we'll go find some enemies. Now this will be the last spell that we're going to be showing off. There is other spells, but it's all the spells that are normal spells. Like, there's spells that you have to do actual stuff to be able to do it, use it, and then there's other spells that just you gotta choose wisely to what happens with. Really interesting. Anyway, enemy here.
This place has seen better days.
Oh, it's the spiders. Anyway, we can use it. It basically curses them.
Not my fault.
Anyway, and then we got
spider.
this one, which you can collect beasts with. We got brushing one, where you can just brush animals and they become friendly, and then a feeding one. Now, these are the essential ones. So we got first one, basic cast. I told you that one. Now there's this one, Revelio. It just reveals locations. Now there's this one. It's basically, so it's Portigo, and whenever an enemy comes to attack you, if you hit triangle or whatever you're playing on, if you're playing on PlayStation, it's triangle, and enemies can't attack you. Now Stupid Fire, that just, I think we've seen that in the movies. Now this one is you sneak up on your enemies while you're in that sort of thing. Right? This one's Alohomora, and this is the unlocking door spell. It's really annoying. And I told you about this one. It's the ancient magic portkey spell, I guess. And last but definitely not least, the ancient throw magic. So it's just basically it's just telling you that Guardian Leviosa is bloody useless in this game. That's what that's trying to tell you. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed list of all the spells. Sorry, that was my brother. He's actually really annoying. I hate him. That was a nice 12-minute episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys didn't, alright, this is the end of this episode. See ya!